All right, one of our favorites, Caitlyn Smith, second time guest, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Not too many second time guests, so really exciting to have you back. I did want to ask real quick to start. We obviously you have a new album from that came out in the last couple months, but looking at your Instagram, I'm super jealous. Well, obviously you opened for George, which was amazing, but there's a
Great.
picture of you doing a shot with George Strait and Vince Vaughn. So what's the story behind
That's
this?
the most bizarre moment of my entire life. Most bizarre moment of my entire life. Yeah, we opened for George a bunch last year, and it was so amazing. I see him right in the back there. Like, absolutely bucket list scenario there. But that little shot, he does. So George does a shot in between like his set and his encore. It's his like tradition. And then he invites his friends to come take a shot with him. And so he invited us to take a shot. And, I look around and Mr. Vince Vaughn is back there. And it was like, all right, we're doing this. We're doing a shot. So I got to talk to him. He watched our whole show, which was crazy. And I don't know. It was just like I was in Wedding Crashers for 1 second. And I was like, this is no, it was really cool. He was a really sweet guy. So
We've asked this to a bunch of people. We're obviously huge George fans. It's a lot of the Texas guys have talked about like golfing with him and things like that. Like, but everybody's kind of said the same thing, right, Wes? It's like he is even cooler than you would think. Like he has that really cool, suave, like old man vibe when you just don't even know him.
Just like floats
around
into
him.
a room.
Like he's got that George Clooney aura to me,
Yeah,
and I've never even been
totally.
around him. Is that accurate?
That's absolutely accurate. Like what an energy and presence and just kindness coming up, just oozing off of him. And I just wish he was my grandpa. Like how do I get George Strait to adopt me? I don't know. Can you just like have a grandfather adopt you? I don't know. That'd be amazing.
Right.
Oh.
Was it a shot of his tequila?
It's got it.
Yes. Toe to go. It's insane. Have you guys had it?
Yeah.
Oh, I killed half a bottle because it was my birthday 2 days ago, and Wes.
And you probably didn't have a hangover because it's so smooth and good, right?
I'm telling you, like I had my sisters over, families on Friday, like cooked for them and stuff, and one sister was visiting, and I got the Blanco one, thinking, all right, maybe just like hey, welcome to our home for the first time, like. My two sisters killed the entire bottle, and they felt fine. And they felt fine the next day. And even my wife, who's like, "How do you sip tequila?" I was like, "Trust me, take a sip of this."
Honestly, you don't. You just put it on ice. Don't mix it. I always make people like, "Don't you dare mix it." I slap this, the LaCroix out of the people's hands. Like, no. It's so good though. You can polish off a whole bottle, no problem. I can.
What is your hangover?
Not a whole bottle.
Yeah. Well.
I can.
Some of us can.
Do you have a hangover, a worst case, or like what's the worst booze for a hangover for you?
Oh God. It's when I don't do it anymore. I usually just stick to wine or tequila. And it's when like I start doing like mixed drinks, sugary drinks. My world's worst hangover. I remember we were in the Bahamas playing like some gig there. And it was like not bad, right? Drinking all these like island drinks.
Coconut rum and shit.
Coconut rum. Oh, sure. What's this? I don't know. Okay. We're dancing.
It's got a pineapple in it.
Fell asleep at the restaurant. I woke up the next day with my like eyelashes like glued to like my face. Still in the outfit, that I played the show in. It's really good when you're like, you don't even change.
Yeah.
But that's brutal.
Like wallet still in the pocket, keys, phone still in my jeans.
Those days. I do not miss those days.
Exactly.
God, those days.
Oh, and I remember I didn't even eat my cheeseburger from the night before. And I woke up, it was like 8 a.m. and I was like, I have a whole cheeseburger.
You get so
ran in the fridge. I was like 8 a.m. cold cheeseburger. Like
that's the best feeling though.
But a great feeling. That used to happen a lot. And I think we posted about this, Wes, or tweeted like a McDonald's like McDouble. Like it can sit out overnight. You just microwave it for 30 seconds, and it
Sit
tastes
for a month, and it's fine.
it tastes
Don't change.
perfect. You're just like, what in the world? My thing used to be grabbing all of the Taco Bell sauces I could. Back in the probably pre-COVID, like you would be able to just grab it yourself.
Yeah.
And I would have like a 3-pound bag of Taco Bell sauce always.
Man.
So we just kind of built, and then I had like a gallon of it. And, but
I mean, that's a beautiful currency right there. Taco Bell sauces.
Now they don't even give it to you. You got to like ask for it, and it's a whole thing. And then
we were being disgusting the other night, and we ordered it. We were just craving it.
Dude, I've had it delivered to my house.
They did not bring sauce. And I was just like mortified.
Oh, dang it.
Novice.
Sorry. Yeah, that is novice.
Anyway, speaking of hangovers, is there anything worse than having one with having children?
Oh man.
That tests you. That's like
tests so much. It tests so much of like, oh, I'm no longer in the stage where I can like sleep this off until noon.
No.
I've got to make breakfast. I've got to like get people dressed. People are counting on me. And it's like, oh, hold on, mommy just needs to put on some Paw Patrol right now.
Yes. Paw Patrol. Yes.
And there's that like,
here comes Coco Melon.
Exactly.
And then if your like wife or husband is not as hungover as you, they're kind of like, all right, let's go. What are you doing?
Oh, you're like, no.
Drink too much last night? Oh, don't care. We got change that diaper.
Can't even sleep in if I wanted to these days. Even if I wanted to and could.
They're there. They're like, hi. You up yet? Oh my gosh.
Is it being an artist and a songwriter and touring and moving around a lot? Is it difficult with 2 young kids, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Honestly, it adds an element, but just having kids in general adds a pretty big element to your life. We bring the kids on the road, and but we have an incredible nanny that comes with us, so they get to experience the tour thing, which is pretty great. And yeah, it definitely adds an element of like more things to think about. We party harder on the road when the kids are not there.
I would assume so, right?
Or Kodago gets drank when they're not there. But I mean, I just feel like it's such a beautiful thing, even though it's harder and it's like a total shit show. It's a total circus. Like when we're traveling, it's really worth it because they love it. We love it. I don't know.
How does that too like affect kind of your songwriting and your perspective? I imagine that kind of changes, at least for me. My daughter's only 9 months old, so she's not like this in the morning quite yet. But
right.
I have to go get her.
It's gonna be awesome.
I have to go get her if she's coming out of bed. But
I've been watching her sleep for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I would imagine that completely changes kind of like your perspective in songwriting, and even like just kind of the way you approach some topics and
sure.
perspective.
I think I've talked about this before, that when I had a kid, it was like a whole new door in my heart just opened up, like a whole new room, and just a whole new understanding, a whole new perspective was kind of unlocked in my brain. And so now, writing a song about love, which most of us do, like write about love, right? It's the most common topic. It's like I have a whole nother place to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's absolutely like grown my songwriting. And I know I love like testing songs on them, because if a 5-year-old is like singing it back the next day or humming it around the house, like, you got something special. Like if the kid, like, it's like the kiddo-meter, right?
Right. Yeah.
I play the record and I kind of see like, what songs are they singing back? So it's really cool to see.
My kid, I have these like little like Bluetooth speakers outside, inside, whatever, take him everywhere. And that was like the best part, was when he got into music, how you can kind of dictate it. So like you're saying with a 5-year-old now, he's like probably getting it more. Yeah. But for me, it was just like, there was like a whole year phase. As soon as if he was crying at Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson,
oh, that's amazing.
It got him. He just stops and starts like dancing. Right. Yeah, just the beat of the '90s, the speed of '90s country songs. Like that's what they need, right? And I'm gonna try a little something slower, no, and then that. Just seeing like their creative minds kind of start to form is kind of cool. Do you think, or do you care even if they kind of, or how are you gonna approach if they maybe they're not like wanting to do music, or you are like, oh, that'd be good. It's like good for your brain development, all that stuff. It's like you let them kind of figure it out and then go.
Yeah.
Or
Honestly, I never want to push anything on them.
right.
I mean, music. Probably put them in piano lessons. Both of my husband and our parents did, and I feel like everyone's always like, I'm glad my parents kept me in piano.
I think Wes did.
Yeah, I took piano for a few years.
That's a good thing, but I also like don't want to be like pushing it. We always have instruments kind of like at their level, available. We let them touch and play with whatever they want, except the expensive stuff that stays. But the good stuff on the wall. But I mean, we don't push it. I think naturally they're falling in love with it. I'm like trying not to get too excited. My son has like really good pitch, and I'm like, oh geez, like this is I totally freaked out. I'm like, you're really good.
Right.
But honestly, like at the end of the day, I just want them to be like good humans, and if they want to be dentists, cool, that's fine. I don't care.
Everyone wants a dentist in the family.
Everyone wants a dentist in the family for sure. But yeah, I'm never gonna force them into it, but I definitely want it like available if it's something that they love.
I need to get like a little guitar, Wes.
Oh yeah, I meant to send you like
somebody sent us like a free one out at the office.
Oh yeah, actually, this one's the tiny one that my kids play a lot up here. See that?
You could probably for like $100 find something just basic for a kid to mess with, right? Yeah.
Well, I was at Target the other day, and they have this like little like kids piano that I wanted to buy, but it was like I think a little too advanced for her yet. It said like 2 years and up or something.
She's gonna be like Kygo, like, making beats.
But I'm like, I kind of want to mess around with this too, like.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just buy it for yourself. Come on.
Right.
And then if she likes it, then it's still a win.
Real quick, CMA Fest. We weren't there this year. We had our company retreat in Colorado, but I saw you posted. Yeah, it was great. A lot of fun. The CMA Fest for us has always been a crazy experience, and a lot of drinking, a lot of dehydration. The weather's always miserable because it's so hot and so humid. We were just talking to our friends at Bush Beer about this because they had a setup there. Did you have fun? Do you have any stories from over the years of CMA Fest? It's just like it gets a little overwhelming, right? Even people that live there are just like, holy shit. It's just the amount of people, sweating people all over you, breathing on you, heat,
fighting for
humidity, fighting.
This year wasn't as hot. So that was like,
that's good.
Oh, is it even CMA Fest? We're not all dying of heat stroke. But I mean, honestly, I've done it a handful of years as a songwriter, but this was my first year of like really doing it as an artist. And it was crazy. It was chaotic. And my first time getting to do like a signing at a booth, and that was super fun to like meet people.
Any weirdos?
Always. We're all weirdos, right?
That's true.
A little weird.
It's a hard gig, right? When you're signing or you're doing that part of the business, like you're gonna meet some strange people.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely gonna meet strange people. But gosh, I think it's fun. I don't know. It's like, what am I gonna get? I don't know. How can I see this person?
Hopefully you're not getting a stalker. Like,
hopefully it's not a stalker. I mean, I haven't had any too too crazy scenarios, which is good. Like, I want to wear your skin to my birthday crazy, right?
I always feel bad, like in the social media age and world where we're at now, with especially for like the women out there like that are artists. I mean, Taylor Swift. That's why I was thinking of like we posted years ago. She always had like a guy breaking into her house like every other month.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
Even breaking into the houses people didn't even know she had in like Connecticut and shit. Like, oh, you got a house there? I don't know that.
Probably buys it under an alias or like a third account. Sure. Yeah, and they find it. It's just like,
that's crazy, man. There's some wacko people. I've had one guy wrote me this letter one time, handwritten letter, and inside he included a post-it note, like a note card, and an envelope that was like stamped and addressed back to him, and he requested that I put on lipstick and kiss the note card and mail it back to him. And that was I didn't do that.
Did you do it?
I was like, we were joking. I was like, maybe I should have my husband do it.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
Like, wow, these are really manly lips. I don't know.
It's gotta be so weird, man.
But that was like probably the weirdest one.
That's pretty weird. That's like one of the weirdest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I guess it is.
There's that weird, if like you're on, I don't know if you're, it seems like your Twitter's not as active maybe as your Instagram.
I watch Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
same.
But there's like this segment of weird older guys that are like obsessed with like country singers. They're like all like, they have like their like selfie photo, and it's just like, oh.
It's like their photos like this.
Exactly.
Oh, we get those DMs too. It's just like, we'll post just like a random like for our shop, post obviously guys and girl, like women, and they'll like message us or like comment like they like, it's like, we're not telling you what, like, no, like,
or they think the account, like the girl,
the
woman in the picture is like the account holder, so they're like, hi little lady, and it's like, what?
Oh,
you're talking to a 33-year-old man.
My favorite, we got like a Facebook DM, they're like, hello, I can't find my grandson, Target. It's like, we're not Target. This is, how did you come to how did you find our Facebook page and think that we're Target? It was either Target or Walmart.
Oh,
it's just, you get these people, they're just like, I lost my grandson in Target, please help. I'm like,
oh no,
sorry, Nance.
Just give them like the Target helpline.
Maybe ask somebody there.
Yeah. Oh no.
What is the chain of events that causes her to go onto a Facebook page and DM?
Just panic.
I can't understand it. I can't wrap my head around that one at all.
Have you had any, I was going to say, any like wild on stage moments where you saw something in the crowd and you were just like, what the hell's going on there, or anything like that? Or
there's been a couple. Trying to pick one. I mean, I toured with Willie Nelson, and that's a pretty wild crowd. There was a couple times like, some like topless,
Yeah, is that a thing for Willie still? Like just like the hippie vibe?
That's like a hippie vibe. Yeah. That was a handful of years back. Recently though, probably in the last 5 years, 3 years ago maybe, I did a tour with Sheryl Crow, and she played this winery in West Kelowna, Canada. Man, those Canadians can put some wine away.
They love drinking.
And I think it was like an open bar before the show too, because everyone was tater tossed. It was all adults gone wild. And I remember we were doing our set, and it was more like an acoustic vibe. And there was this dude with a couple buckets of popcorn for his ladies or whatever. And he like scooched past everyone and dumped the bucket of popcorn like down his woman's shirt that was quite low. And then we just watch him go like, all right. And he just like dives into his chest.
Oh, yeah.
Starts eating all the popcorn. And we're like, what the? It's front row. We're like, what is going on? I mean, that same show, like someone's peeing in the bushes right up at front, and it's like, it was a mess. But
does that break your concentration? Are you like,
yes,
yes, I was gonna ask that.
I can't think of anything when that's going on. It's like, what? Is anybody else seeing this?
Just need a minute. Like,
need a minute. I gotta close my eyes if it's like, whoa, this is a lot.
It's definitely got to be done soon. He doesn't tour obviously that much, but George Strait, for example, like those, I don't know what that crowd is like. It's probably a huge mix, because when we saw Garth, when Garth came out of retirement, it was the weirdest crowd. It was like, it was deafening, but there was like 8-year-olds there, and there was 88-year-olds there. Like it was just this weird wide range. So you never know what kind of what you're going to get with the crowd. But it's like when COVID hit, nobody went to concerts, and then finally like we had our baby and then moved to Colorado, and then it was like finally can go back to a concert. So we recently went to Luke Combs and Zach Bryan at Denver Stadium, and just like you can feel a difference now to me, like with the crowd. I tend to feel like there's less of the like fighting asshole type thing, because people are like happy to be there. Do you kind of feel that too?
I feel that like a lot.
Yeah, people are just like, this is so nice to be back, like just watching a show. But
yeah, that I feel that energy like big time at all the shows. Everyone's just like so happy to be there, so happy to just be drinking and all together. It feels so good.
I
what was
saw that.
Willie? Oh, go ahead, Wes.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you mentioned Willie Nelson. Is that kind of like a surreal moment meeting Willie?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's got to
100%.
be. Yeah.
Um, man, that tour was so special. It was one of the first real tours I got to do after moving to Nashville. And he brought out it was actually like a traveling festival, and I think there were 17 acts, and we did like 26 shows around the country. But then every night Willie would have like all of us out to sing the gospel songs, and so like being in in arms of like his kids, or like Jamie Johnson was out there, Lee Brice was out there, like all these like epic artists, and we're all just like arms around like singing with
Like,
Willie.
what's happening?
And there was one moment where it was like Colorado, so we were all partaking in the altitude, and, it's a Willie Nelson concert, and I just remember I've got like kids on each side of me, and like we're in Colorado, we're playing Red Rocks, and he like looks over, he's got this like twinkle in his eye like Santa Claus, and he just gives me this wink, and I'm like, oh my God, like,
That's awesome.
it just is,
Well,
so very epic.
Because Wes, did you write the article, the Luke Combs smoking thing the other day? Luke Combs said something about smoking with him.
Oh yeah, just like went to Pluto, and then just like I think he said he took like one big old rip, and then was like, well, that's gonna be enough for me.
Oh,
And then,
that's the end of tonight.
and then it came around again, and he hit another one, and was like, and then people were asking him. He was in Hawaii at Willie's place in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, totally. Yep.
And just like people were like, hey man, you need a water? It's okay if you need a water. And then Willie started hitting a bag, like a punching bag, and he's like doing karate kicks. And I'm like, what? And Luke is just like, am I watching 80-something-year-old Willie Nelson crane kick a heavy bag in Hawaii? Like,
oh my stars. That's
so
really
it's
funny.
And people like that, like, don't smoke ever or even edibles. The like range of potentness I think that's a word, is insane. So like the stuff Willie's smoking, and like
it's intense, man.
Mike Tyson has his own place now that is supposedly super crazy. These type of celebrities that get like the high end stuff, it like you're not here, like you're like somewhere else. It's like, but does it not?
You can literally see your whole life before your eyes.
Oh yeah, and it puts all the negative bullshit that you're burying to the forefront, potentially how you are going into it, which I was telling Wes, like I'm like, I feel like that's one of the most like underrated parts of it. Even if you have like a basic little weed pen, and maybe you have a little anxiety about something and you forgot about it, but you got to get to it. Yeah. And you smoke, and it just pushes it to the front, and it's like, this is what's bothered. Like, that's what I think is so like valuable at times for me creatively. If I can't think of like a tweet, a whatever, something big picture, just a little bit of that. That's why, I mean, come on, Willie Nelson's still touring. He's still doing all this stuff. Right. You're telling me that there's not a coincidence here? It's like, no, it helps keep you young and
absolutely.
So
absolutely. I mean, it's such I'm a mom of 2 young children, and one of my favorite places to go at night is my edibles. Because it's like
the best, yeah.
It's like, it's so nice to just like get that like
I mean, the name of your album is High.
Duh. Duh.
Is edibles not for me, edibles, I'll be worried. It affects me a lot more positively overall. Even if I'm in a bad place or like mood or whatever, where you'll take an edible, once it hits, you're like, oh, like I'll start laughing to myself in the shower. Like, wow, you fucking idiot. What are you stressed out about?
What are you stressed out about? That's what I love about it. It really puts things in perspective. It's like, wow, you were being a crazy person earlier over that. That's not worth it. Yeah, for sure.
Does that stuff help you write? Do you ever do it to write?
Sometimes. It depends. It depends. Sometimes it's like awesome. And
or
I
you
feel
think
like,
it's awesome until the
or you think, oh, we're writing the coolest song and it's just way too weird. But yeah, it definitely helps me write. I don't do it all the time because a lot of writes happen like like
In an
11
office.
o'clock in the morning. But sometimes, man, it has to be with the right people too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be a good energy and a good time. But
Who are
yeah.
some of your favorite co-writes or co-writers, even if you haven't cut anything with them yet?
Wow. It's really hard to narrow it down. I've been writing a lot with this awesome guy named Ben West. I wrote my last single with him, and Gordy Sampson is another amazing one. Troy Vergis. I think who else? Jen DeSilvio is out in LA, and I wrote "Hi" with her and a bunch of songs on the new record.
Did you write that with
And
Miley,
Miley?
too?
Miley's on that song, yeah. Which is
How is she? She seems like she'd be the most fun person to hang out with.
dude. She is wicked cool. Like she is super, 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 super normal, great energy, like not like pretentious or anything. Like, yeah, and she's a really great writer. And it's also totally bizarre to just like be in the room writing with her, and her voice like takes up the whole space.
She's so underrated to me. We
She's
did
super-
that. It might be a post to redo us.
Yeah.
Her like Jolene cover, like that
Yeah.
old
It's
video of her.
insane.
It's so good. She's so good. Like,
Her vocals are wild. And I love the kind of like, I know she made that like rock and roll record, but she really can have like a country flair in her voice, and it's like special.
Yeah. Kind of deep,
She's
kind
a
of
bad
raspy. Like,
yeah, she can sing so low too. Like on the record mode, it was like she's like, watch this, bro.
Right. Well, she did. I remember a while back, had to be a long time ago. Her and Taylor Swift did a duet for like, they were so young. It had to be like CMA Awards or something like that. And like it was kind of like Taylor featuring Miley, but like Miley just like let it rip, and it was like, oh shit, like we see who the stronger vocalist of these two is right now. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I've always been kind of a fan of Miley without like probably listening that much.
She even made
some of the pop stuff, but
even like her going on shows and talking about like Billy and her dad and stuff. I'm like, they seem kind of. I think they just got divorced, her parents, but if I'm not mistaken. But still, like there was like a funny video. She's talking about like they would smoke weed and watch hummingbirds in their backyard, like Billy Ray Cyrus. I'm like, this sounds perfect. This sounds super peaceful. But
and Miley cut that song too, right?
She did. It's on her Plastic Hearts record, and it's incredible. Mark Ronson produced it, and yeah, it's wild.
Cool.
So crazy.
And then like Garth cut Tacoma that you wrote, right?
Oh, right.
And then opening for George. And you just have like such a Willie, like you have a track record of just
that's gotta feel good. They're like seeking you out to
right. That says so much about.
They're not gonna let anybody open for them or write for them, or you know what I mean. Like it's got to feel pretty good.
It really. I just feel really, really freaking grateful. And I started off writing songs and singing as a kid, and fell in love with country music, right away, and so it's a trip to me to like be meeting these heroes. These, just this last weekend, I got to open for Martina McBride, and like that was a record that showed me that I could belt. Like I belted along with her, and like she helped me find like that part of my voice, and then to be able to just like talk with her backstage and have this kind of weird full circle moment. That's like what? It's very surreal, and I just like I just keep taking like snapshots. I'm like, this is cool. I'm really doing it because, I never know when it's going to stop. And so try to be grateful for every little thing.
Because you seem like, from my perspective, the whole Nashville, it's such a mishmash of like lab made bros and then real people like yourself. And you seem pretty like laser focused, right? Like a lot of that other stuff is just like whatever. You do your stuff, you do your music, you know who you want to write with, whether you want to admit it or not, you know how good you are, and it's not this like pressure to try to be something. Where I feel like a lot of people probably do feel that pressure because it's like
trying to find identity.
Yeah, it's like an inauthentic identity. They're trying to like create or whatever? Is it you feel kind of just like chill in your groove?
As far as like knowing who I am as an artist, what I want to say, what kind of songs what kind of music I'm putting out there, like I definitely felt like I've grown into it. I would maybe like say that 10 years ago, I started playing that game. I started, writing for what I thought people wanted to hear from me. I went down that road and it didn't really get me anywhere. And I wasn't really that pumped doing it. And so it took a lot of like closed doors on my journey to just get me to like, what am I doing? Like, why don't I just do what I want to do?
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's always that it's hard because there's always that pressure. It runs in the back of my head, like here, like, well, this person's doing that, and I just like constantly am fighting to just like, nope, doesn't matter. You're on your own journey, like, and so I would be lying to you if I said, oh, I don't have that. I'm just doing my own thing because I think it creeps in for everyone.
Yeah.
But it's a daily thing where I'm like, all right, I'm on my own path. I don't need to look at that person or try to do anything to please whomever. I just need to do what I love to do.
Well said.
Who are some of the like contemporaries right now that you kind of either look up to or respect or just really love kind of listening to that are kind of in the same, sound industry, like people that you just like, oh, I love what they're doing right now. Really love what they're doing right now.
I mean, my number one is Chris Stapleton. I feel like that
he can sing a little.
I mean, it's his voice, but even his artistry, like he just knows who he is and he's not like shooting for anything. He's just making great music. And I mean, I think Eric Church is doing the same thing. I don't know. Marin's doing that. Casey Musgraves is like also, I freaking love that girl. She's just doing her own dang thing, and it's always really, really inspiring. So
I finally can listen to Maggie's song by Chris Stapleton. I finally broke through.
You can listen to it without crying?
Well, no, not without crying. I can actually finish the song. Because I used to not be able to. And then speaking of weed though, took the dog for a walk. It was like a Saturday, like 7 p.m. beautiful day here, and like listened to it with him, kind of in the field. I saw the mountains, and it was like super like therapeutic almost, and that's what got me through it. But my wife, even to this day, like
turn it off.
She'll forget what song it is at first. She's like, oh, this sounds good, and she's like, oh, change it, like literally pull the car off the road, stop, change the song,
rip the stereo out.
I mean, that's the power of him though. To me, it's a song like that, which is like, oh, the old like adage, people that hated country music is like, oh, my dog died and my wife left me, and it's like, no, like you don't get it. Like when you listen to that,
I have chills. I have real chills right now. Just having you talk about this song, it because it's unreal. That song is like,
and you like it almost when you see it like, oh, Maggie's song is gonna be about a dog, you're like, okay, no, it's like, forget it.
It's so good. I know if you don't cry, listen to that song, you don't have a soul.
Literally. Can I? One more question from me on cats versus dogs. Where's all the songs about your cat dying?
No, there's none.
I'm not trying to poke fun at people who have their cats.
I know.
But
don't want to
There's not songs about cats.
Nope, there aren't.
And like the famous.
I'm sorry.
Unless Simba was singing it.
No, I'm not gonna write one.
It's just then you're just like, what is this like? But
no, man, there's nothing like a dog.
Do you have any right now?
Do I have a dog? Yes,
Yeah,
I have a black lab named Walter, and he's the freaking best.
Oh, I have a black German Shepherd mixed. And Husky. I used to have him in here on the podcast, but if I don't know what's going on, especially during like my son's napping right now, he'll just start going crazy and howling and stuff, and then it's like I got to get up and open the door, and but I kind of like having that on the podcast a little bit sometimes, but
Yeah, a moment of
like
like
Wes,
levity.
Wes needs a dog. Wes, you need a dog.
I need to
Yeah,
move. I need to move first.
Yeah.
you need a dog. It's the best. It's the
And
absolute,
watching a kid, the kids grow up with the dog, to me, that's been
oh,
the most fun thing.
it's the absolute best. Like my 3-year-old, his best friend is legitimately Walter the dog. And if he's not, he's like, "Where's Walter?" And he just like he just
I like the
scratches
human
up.
name too. I like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Our most viral tweet ever was about a pug named Kevin that I met. So he was just like, Kevin, get the fuck over here. And I thought she was yelling at her. I thought she was yelling at her kid, and she was yelling at her pug not getting in the elevator.
I am all about naming animals human names. We
Thank you. I want to.
we're
I
gonna have
initially
a
was gonna name
farm.
our dog. Yes, that's our goal. A farm.
Good.
My
Okay,
wife just wants
let's talk
to.
about
She's
farming.
like, she saw what Miranda Lambert is. She's like, I want to do that. I was like, okay, like
Yep.
we're getting there with Whiskey Riff. Hopefully, we can get farm. Like, but it's yeah. I mean, I feel this. If you adopt one, you're like, oh my god, I saved. And you want to do another, and then another,
Yep.
and then next thing you know, you need
Like
a
tattoos.
farm.
Next thing you know, you got 10 dogs. I know. We're building. So we're up in Minnesota, and we're building a house, in the country. It's on like a bunch of land, and we're gonna do
Nice.
the whole farm thing, which is really exciting. You know,
Chickens and like
chickens.
yeah.
We'll get
Horses.
eventually a cow or two. I really want to get a goat and name it Barack Obama. We'll see.
Goats are awesome. We adopted one like by paying like monthly for they did like therapy stuff there too for horses, like people coming in like, but the goat's name was Bianca, and
Bianca.
yeah. And our son loved like just hanging out with them. Goats are really fun. They'll knock your ass over though.
Yeah,
they're really cute though. They're like dogs to me. Like
they're
they just like kind of hang
cute.
around you and like rub against you. And once you had horses
and baby goats, just stop right now.
We used to do this every year. I forgot to do it this year, but every December, I'll do it this year now that I remember. But there's all these like really cute photos of baby goats in like sweaters, Christmas sweaters. Have you seen these?
Okay.
They just like walk around.
Like goat yoga.
Goat. Yeah, have you ever done goat yoga?
Have you done goat yoga?
I've never done goat yoga.
It seems kind of weird, right? Because a lot of the videos I see is they get on your back and then they pee on you. That's what
I'm not into that. I love yoga, yoga outside, and I also love goats. I just don't know if they're like a together thing.
What if I made you like a goat curry? Would you eat it, or do you love goats so much you want to eat a goat? I like cooking.
Know. I like meat, and I don't know, is that a thing people eat? Goat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the
pretty good
bigger restaurants in Chicago
like
is called Girl and the Goat, and they have goat on the menu. Goat empanadas. Goat.
It's kind of like it's kind of like lamb. And if you don't do it right, it'll be really gamey. So you might be like,
yeah.
ugh.
Well, I grew up hunting. My husband hunts. Like we got plenty of pheasants and like a deer in our freezer, and so like.
There you go.
I'm down with that.
I didn't know you were in Minnesota. I don't know why I thought you were in Nashville.
Yeah, we split time between Minnesota, where both my husband and I are from, and Nashville.
Now I hear it. Now I hear it.
Yeah, there it is. Here we go. Oofda, go Vikings.
I'm a Vikings. That's why I was asking.
You are?
So long story, but I'm from Indiana. Played like a little bit of football when I was younger, and then when Randy Moss was getting drafted, I didn't really have a team. I hated the Bears for whatever reason, because we got all the Bears,
because they're terrible.
Bears channels in that little part of Indiana. So then Moss is drafted by the Vikings. I'm like, I'm a Vikings fan now. And then ever since that, so that was 98, I believe. So
Randy Moss, yes.
So yeah, but just them. I'm not like a Twins fan or a Timberwolves.
Are you a Twins fan?
With the Timberwolves.
I'll go to a game, but I don't like watch baseball.
But the Vikings, you do pay attention.
Yes, I'll watch.
I'm really, and I feel like a lot of times you get excited leading into a season, but the whole new like coaching staff and everything, I'm feeling like they're gonna have a really, really good year. I might even put some money on them like winning the NFC, to be honest. I could see it. I could see some weird shit happening. He had like a young, good-looking coach. Like he's in there, the energy's up. Like the guys are all talking shit about the former coach now, which I love.
Yep.
Like this is so much better now. Everybody's having a good time. We're not scared. Like
Right.
That makes a big difference. I think.
Bears are only
Wes is
going
a
to win
Bears
4
fan.
games.
I've been trying like the last couple years to just like put my name in to sing the anthem so I can go to a game.
Oh,
Just so
they probably
well,
have.
I've done it twice.
Oh, I was
Oh.
gonna say
And it's so much fun to
that
actually
stadium
go.
looks insane.
That stadium's ridiculous. US Bank Stadium.
That's got to be the most nerve-wracking thing ever, right? Way more. No.
No.
Oh.
No, not at all.
Messing up the lyrics to.
Okay, the first like 4 lines of the national anthem is actually terrifying. But
Do you remember Luke Bryan? I think this was like 2000. This was a while ago.
Like 11 or 12.
Was it at Fenway Park in Boston? He like he was reading off of his hand. He like wrote on his hand, I believe.
Aaron Lewis botched it pretty bad once. It happens,
You just never live it down, I feel like.
You get in your head, I guess.
You try and change it up like Fergie, and then it gets a little weird.
No, you don't ever try and change it up. I also
is-
stay away from super fancy, like fancy runs.
Was it Eric Church in that I forgot her name. But
Jasmine Sullivan.
That was awesome. The way
that was ridiculous.
it was smooth. They changed it a little bit, but it was not like
that was one of my favorite anthems
long.
for sure. I love it.
You threw out the pitch at the Cubs game recently, right?
Yeah, dude, that was
How did that happen?
Okay, I was way more nervous throwing out the pitch for the Cubs game than singing the anthem.
Yeah.
60,000 people.
That's a scary one.
The pitch thing was fine, you guys. I threw it straight to the home plate and I only bounced it once.
That's not. I mean, have you seen
Not
50
bad.
Cent's throw?
No.
Famous. It was years ago, but there's a lot of these videos like the worst first pitches ever from
Yeah, I
celebrities.
did watch a few of those, and people kept sending them to me like, "This could be you."
50 Cent is like, I'm not exaggerating. If like center is like the home plate where we're looking, 50 feet to the left, like he's never thrown a ball in his life.
That's
It's just like,
amazing.
oh.
That's amazing.
But then you start to see,
Right,
ooh, he
really.
doesn't know how to throw a baseball. You go, I don't like that. So like if you do one bounce in, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I
Better
gave
than
it my
50 Cent.
all, you guys. I really did. I gave it my all, but it's a lot farther than you think it is. That's a long way to throw a pitch.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
But-
Someone who probably hasn't thrown a ball.
We got to send you the 50 Cent video, but that's a great
Yes,
place to
okay.
end it. And everybody get the new album, High, came out in April.
Thank
What's left on the calendar? You're just touring for summer and into fall, and then kind of chill
Touring
out
this
towards the
year.
winter.
Yep, we're gonna start. May or may not start trickling out some new music the next half of the record, and Low. So it'll be the full album will be called High and Low.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
We'll come out probably top of next year, but we're gonna start trickling out some songs come fall, and then I get to go back to Vegas with George Strait.
nice.
Which will be fun too. Yeah, and touring. I got T-ball tonight, so that's
Ball.
that's a fun thing for the summer. But
My wife's going to girls' night in an hour, so I got
lucky,
the kid and
you got the kid.
and Maverick.
The dog.
Oh, Maverick.
Well, my favorite. We go on like a long walk, and just bring a beer or two, and kind of just like hang out and play basketball. Or it's a lot
That's
of
the
fun.
best. That's the best,
Yeah.
man.
Well, Caitlyn,
Right on.
always awesome.
You guys
Loving
are
you.
so fun to talk to. Seriously.
Thank you. I know we're not like the other boring countryside stuff.
You're not. You're way, way, way better. Thank you for that.
And hopefully sometime soon we can all meet in person and have an edible and
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Killing
let's do that.
edibles.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Colorado for I don't know if it's close to you though. Dirk Bentley has that Seven Peaks Festival. You gonna go?
That would be fun.
So they just changed location. So I was looking. I think it's actually a lot closer now than it was.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
September, right?
We would love to go.
September. It's
That
like
would be
Labor Day
fun.
weekend.
I had nothing
So-
going on in September.
Yeah, I would love to
Come
go to that.
on, let's party, Colorado.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We gotta
Done.
start reaching out to his team to get the
Yeah.
media creds or whatever they
Yeah.
need.
Dirks.
But
Done.
We'll call Dirks after this.
he just opened another bar of his in Denver. One of
Yeah.
those,
Sick. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we were there a couple weeks ago. It was fun.
Thanks, Dirks. Is it cool? Worth going to?
It's a lot like the one in Nashville. in a
yeah,
way.
it's similar. It's similar. It's a vibe. It's chiller in the day, and then I think at night it gets a little like not my thing.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like if you're only in Denver for a minute, like probably don't need to go.
Got it.
You know, but if you can go, if you're there for like
Food was
6
good.
weeks, maybe try it out.
For bar food, it's like,
Yeah.
to me, it's like good bar
6
food.
weeks.
Wait,
You're in
to
there.
that point,
2
my
weeks.
bachelor party was in Arizona where he opened his first,
Yeah.
and we had lunch there, And I think our final tab was like $6,000 just eating lunch with all of the guys. And we're not like bottle service people. We didn't get any bottle
Lunch
service. This
ended
is-
at 2 in
this
the
is
morning.
beers,
Yeah, lunch ended at
Sure.
2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
but it's a good spot. But yeah, no, we would love to go there. And yeah, we'll definitely have some Coda go and
Oh, I can't wait. That sounds
let's
awesome.
do it. All right, Caitlyn, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys. Y'all
It was a
take care.
blast. You too. See ya.